Welcome to lesson number 1 of Cantillation for Megillat Esther. In this series of lessons, I am going to be chanting for you all the trope and all the melody that you need to know to chant through Megillat Esther. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach it to you by the various family members involved in the trope system. For instance, we'll start with the Etnachta family, the Sof Pasuk family, the Katon family, and we'll go through each type of trope sequence, and we will learn them in the order from most common to least common, including all the special melodical diversions that take place during the course of chanting the Megillah as well. So we're going to start today with Etnachta, the Etnachta family. I should also say that for each family we'll also look at an actual text and chant a few examples from that so you can hear how the tropes go with the text. One thing I will say is that this is not a beginning series of on trope, so that if you want something more basic, then you would want to look at the Torah trope series, which isn't actually recorded yet. But once it is recorded, I can direct you to that as well. And so this is really for experienced Torah and Haftarah readers. If you're just beginning, you can certainly get something out of it, but not as much. You probably won't understand some of the things that we're doing until after you've had some of the more basic ideas. Okay, so let's jump right in with the Etnachta family. As you already are probably familiar, the tropes occur in different in families. The Etnachta family is named so because with an Etnachta you may have a number of different sequences of the tropes Mercha, Tipcha, Munach, Etnachta. Let's just chant them right now very quickly so you can hear how they go. I'll start with line A. Mercha, Tipecha, Munach, Etnachta. Let me chant that again. Mercha, Tipecha, Munach, Etnachta. Now I'll chant line B, and feel free as I repeat them to join in on them. And you can, of course, listen to this as many times as you need to. Line B. Tipecha, Munach, Etnachta. Again. Tipecha, Munach, Etnachta. Line C. Munach, Etnachta. Again. Munach, Etnachta. Line D. Mercha, Tipecha, Etnachta. Again. Mercha, Tipecha, Etnachta. And line E. Tipecha, Etnachta. Again. Tipecha, Etnachta. Now let's take a look at our text from Megillat Esther. I've got Trope Trainer up here, and Trope Trainer, if you don't have it, it's a great program to have on your computer to learn all the different kinds of trope and all the readings from Parshat HaShavua to all the different Megillot and Haftarot. It's really fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough, and I wish I got paid for saying that, but I don't. In any case, let's just chant through a few of these sequences that are already here, and what I recommend that you do as you learn these sequences is do exactly what we're doing right now. Just chant through the different kinds of sequences. Even if you have highlighters at home, you want to go through, make a copy of your text if you don't want to mark up your original tikkun or whatever copy of the text you have already, and you can make a copy of it and you can highlight these different types of sequences as you come across them. So I've started here. I've already got the Etnachta sequences highlighted, and what you want to do is, the way I recommend it is, you want to chant through the trope. Just chant through the trope that you see here before you even worry about what the words are. I'm going to assume that you can say the words, and if you're not able to read the words really fluently, that you're going to be practicing those separately anyhow. But the first thing, let's just take a look at this first line here. You've got Tibcha Munach Etnachta, right? Okay, so let's just chant Tibcha Munach Etnachta without worrying about what the words say first. Tibcha Munach Etnachta. Okay, so let's call that step one. So this is going to be a 4-step process that we're going to do with each one of these phrases that we chant. So step one is chant the trope. Tipecha munach etnachta. Now step two, we're going to separate the trope out. We're going to forget the trope for a second. We're just going to say these words. Vayhi bimei achashverosh. Vayhi bimei achashverosh. So at each step along the way, you're going to say these words until they're easy, until they're fluent, until they sound like you know what you're saying, and hopefully you do know what you're saying. But you want to be able to, within each group of trope, within each phrase, you want to make sure you're not breathing, right? If you're still breathing between each word, then you're not there yet. Okay, whether it's chanting the trope or saying the words or doing them both together, you want to get to the point where you don't have to breathe in between each word or really kind of have to pause in between each kind of, within each phrase. Okay, so we've got step two, that's the words, Vayhi bimei achashverosh. Okay, and again, this, of course, this comes from chapter 1, verse 1, the very beginning of the book of Esther. Okay, so that's step two. Step three, let's chant that trope again, just by itself. Tipecha munach etnachta. Okay, and step four, that's where the rubber hits the road. We're going to chant the trope and the words, and we're going to put it all together. Vayehi bimei achashverosh. Again. Vayehi bimei achashverosh. Okay, let's do the second one here. At verse 2, you see on the second line, the second word from the end. Bayamim hahem. Okay, so let's do step one. That's chant the trope. Tipecha etnachta. Tipecha etnachta. That's step one. Step two, we're going to say the words. That's bayamim hahem. Bayamim hahem. Okay. Step three, we're going to remind ourselves what that trope was again, just in case. Tipecha etnachta. And then step four, we're going to put it together. Bayamim hahem. Bayamim hahem. And you may wonder why, by the way, why step three is even in there. And that's because if you don't know the words that well, if reading is not necessarily your big strength on the Hebrew, sometimes by the time you've actually gone through step two and learned how to say the words, you might have forgotten how the trope sounds. So that's why step three is even in there at all. It's just kind of a review of step one, just to make sure that we've got the trope ready to go, we've got the words ready to go, and so that when we put the words and the trope together in step four, we've got as few possibilities for crazy things to happen, because that's usually, if something crazy is going to happen, it's going to be in step four, right? Okay, so let's look at a couple more here, and then we'll stop. We've got this two more sequences of the same exact thing, Tipcha etnachta, I should say. So now you can see the very top line here, Lechol sarav va'avadav. So let's do the 4 steps on that. Tipecha etnachta, tipecha etnachta. Then we'll say the words, Lechol sarav va'avadav. And for those of you who are new to Hebrew, careful you don't say saraiv va'avadaiv. It's sarav va'avadav. That yud is silent. So we've got Lechol sarav va'avadav. Oh, I skipped to step 4. See, that's the one thing you don't want to do. Step 3, we say the trope again. tipecha etnachta. And now we're ready for step 4. Lechol sarav va'avadav. And then the final one, let's just leave it at that. Actually, let's skip that next one and let's do another one here. Let's do the full one. Let's do this right here. Okay, so this top line here, we've got Mercha tipecha munach etnachta. That's step 1. Step 2, we're going to say these words. Al gelile chesef va'amude shesh. Now I paused between chesef and va'amude because I was trying to be a little didactic there, but you would say al gelile chesef va'amude shesh. Okay, so you'd say that all in one phrase. Although after the tipcha, after chesef, you do have sort of license to do a little bit of a tiny pause there, and you probably should do that since it is a disjunctive trope. In any case, let's get back and repeat the trope again. Mercha tipecha munach etnachta. And now we'll put it together. Step 4. Al gelile chesef ve'amude shesh. And notice that it's ve'amude shesh and not ve'amude shesh because the trope is under the mem. So that's where our accent is. Ve'amude shesh. Oh, that's my phone reminding me to do something. Anyway, that's it for the Etnachta family. Hope you got something out of this, and I'll be back in the next lesson with the Sof Pasuk family. See you in a few minutes.